Guys, today I'm going to be reacting to the Lucid Air. So let's find out what a Tesla Model 3 owner thinks of the new Lucid Air. Let's go. Okay, before we get started guys, if you could head down, smash the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Anyway, let's have a look at this video. I'm gonna be watching a 10-minute compression of the video from Engadget. So without further ado, let's press play.
We started working towards this very clean design and really simplify the vehicle down to its very core essence. The car really has just one line that goes all the way around, and that became this key defining feature. At the front of the car, we have this incredible light blade, and that's...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, it's not a bad looking car, but it's not a good looking car. Now, I'm gonna stack it up against Tesla whilst we're doing this. Does it look better than a Tesla Model S? I don't think so. I don't think it's far off. I don't think the Model S looks that great anyway. I think Teslas have got a certain look about them. They're very clean looking cars, very clinical, not loads of personality, but they're good looking cars. They look nice. I think the Lucid Air is similar. It has a few different quirky things about it, and this light blade that he's on about, I don't like it. It's not for me.
It's really enabled by our micro lens array, our drivetrain components.
Okay, so that's all they're talking about on the looks, I guess. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I'm not a massive fan of the looks, but it's not unappealing. I don't think it looks that bad. It looks like a good car. It looks like a good car. It just doesn't look great.
Are incredibly compact and very power dense. In our case, we push all those components down and away and give all that extra space to the passenger compartment. It creates a very unique paradigm where we're larger on the inside and more compact on the outside. As a result, we've been able to create this incredible front trunk.
Okay, I like that. Now, I don't know how that stacks up against Tesla's internals, but I like the fact that they've got a lot of space on the inside. Super important if you want to get a luxury premium feel. Having space is one of the biggest things. And the frunk looks big. Is it as big as the Model X frunk? I don't know. It looks big though.
Proud to say it's the biggest frunk ever made.
Well, it's bigger than the Model X frunk then. It's the biggest frunk ever made. Okay, pretty crazy.
In addition to the upper storage, we also have this second tier of storage down below underneath the bifold cover. And if
looks very similar to all Tesla's cars with these. I mean, I guess they're designed in a very similar fashion, but the rear trunk looks very similar with that little hatch down below.
You combine those two together, plus the front, you end up with a cargo capacity that is much greater than a traditional sedan and is more in line with what you would get with an SUV or crossover. The front of the vehicle.
Not crapping on it, but I think that's just EVs in general. Get that, obviously, they just have bigger space inside, even the Model 3 does. It looks good, but it's what you expect. When I see these EVs and they don't have lots of storage space, I think they're doing it wrong, which a lot of the other car companies are, but they look like they're doing the right thing. They're not retrofitting, so obviously it's designed from the ground up, so it works as an EV. It's exactly how an EV should be designed.
Vehicle is meant to be more sporty. Typically, we do that in darker colors. As you work your way to the back of the vehicle, this is meant to be a more relaxing environment, and so those areas are always done in lighter, brighter colors. The first version that we launch with will be a bench seat. We're also going to offer an executive rear seat. This will recline 45 degrees and take full advantage of the...
Oh, okay. Not a fan of the two-tone colours, not a fan of the dark up front, light up back. I guess you'll be able to select if you want to do that or not. I'm not a massive fan of the sporty up front. Like, to me, this car is about like luxury, premium drive. As a driver, I want to feel that. I don't want it to feel like I'm driving a sports car. But the rear, the executive seats at the back, that is what I'm talking about. Now, as a driver, I probably wouldn't benefit from that, but I've always thought this is the way Tesla should be going with their Model S, the premium line, because if we're talking about level 5 autonomy and they genuinely think they're going to reach level 5 autonomy, I want to be sat in these seats when level 5 autonomy happens. I don't want to be sat in no sports car seat. I want to be sat in one of them seats with a big screen in front of me, sitting back at 45-degree angle, watching Netflix. That's what I want to be sat in. So I'm into the premium seats. I wouldn't enjoy them myself because I'm the only one who bloody drives in the company, but I like the look of them already.
The Lucid Air's rear space. In addition to this lounge space, we have this
lounge space. That's what I'm talking about. That's my Model 3. I refer to sometimes as a lounge. Sometimes I'll go out and just sit in it and watch Netflix and do a bit of work on my laptop because it's like a second lounge. But features like this, if Tesla front seats could recline all the way back and do this kind of stuff, yeah, it'd be cool. So yeah, this is a good feature in my opinion.
Incredible glass canopy, and this is this whole idea of letting light
into
the vehicle and create a very open and.
It looks really nice. The rear seats, the executive seats, do look really nice. If I was a passenger, that's luxury living. If you're traveling 400 miles and you sat on one of them, that's luxury living. It is good. I've got to give it to him.
Area experience. We came up with this 5K floating display that is completely curved, optimizing the view and touch for the driver, as well as the view out to the road. In addition, we have a large center console display that is optimally placed for both driver and passenger, and it retracts into the center console and exposes a large storage area up front. We still wanted to find that balance of the analog tactile experience, so we put a lot of focus on the steering.
Okay, I mean, they're definitely using Tesla as their reference point for design. So I think one criticism some people had of the Model 3 is that there wasn't that analog feel, there wasn't those buttons to touch. So they're kind of like making sure they've got them, but they're also beating the heads-up display of the Model S and they're trying to beat that vertical screen of the Model S. I don't think it works. I don't think the interior for the front's that good. I like that they've got a few buttons going off. 5K just wraparound display at the front, I don't think it's needed. I don't think the vertical display is needed. I don't think the fold-out display is needed. The Model 3 is what nails it for me. That's one screen, and it's the one thing I think beats the Model S is the one single screen, the decluttered look. A few buttons would be nice, but apart from that, yeah, I'm not feeling the driver's experience here, if I'm being honest.
Steering wheel and how the roller toggles feel in your hands.
That's a nice feature.
As the center console controls, all of this still celebrates that mechanical feeling and the physical touch of the.
I think it's for people who like the old cars, who like an old style car, it's a good way to cross over for them, is to have those knobs still to be able to touch and stuff. But I do think we're going to phase all of that out and we will end up like the Model 3. So, I mean, maybe it's just a matter of time.
The vehicle, we knew the user interface had to have a certain elegance about it. That meant a real focus on color, on tone, and layering to create a certain ambience inside the vehicle that even integrated into the ambient lighting, enhancing the overall beauty of Lucid Air. This environment is further enhanced by our immersive audio system, completely engineered and developed in-house, with 21 speakers around and above you and over 800 watts of power in our very unique Lucid app. This app will allow you.
I think the sound system's cool, but I don't know if they've not mentioned that you can watch TV, and the screens don't look that well designed to be able to watch Netflix on anyway. So the immersive sound to me, yeah, it's cool to listen to music, but I feel like music's dated for cars now. We are going to eventually, once autonomy gets in and driver assist gets more accepted, it'll start to be that we're watching media, physically watching TV and media and YouTube and Netflix whilst we're able to drive. And at the very least, like if I want a sound system, it better be good at playing movies. That's what it's turned into with the Model 3. So it's cool that you can play music good, but it doesn't really entice me loads. Like I'm not like, wow, like an unbelievable sound system. It's nice to have a good sound system though.
To precondition the vehicle, set a navigation route, check your charge status, and even check upcoming charge locations. The app is tied to your Lucid ID, so as you approach the vehicle, it knows it's you. The lighting sequence is
very good. They've taken note of what Tesla's app does, I guess, and it seems like it does some very similar things, which is fantastic. Should be a standard, so well done for them to do that.
It's activated, the car unlocks, and the door handles present themselves. Once you get inside the vehicle, the car confirms that it's you through facial recognition. When you activate navigation, music, or phone, you get key information and functionality up above. When you swipe down, that opens the full application on the screen below.
I wouldn't be a fan of touching the heads-up display personally and it going onto the thingy screen, but yeah, that's just one thing. The facial recognition, I think is fantastic. I think they've pipped Tesla to the post, but I do think Tesla will implement that on the Model 3 and the Model Y because they've already got the cameras. But yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, the cars, because the Tesla's got cameras all around the outside, they could probably do that facial recognition unlock, but Lucid Air have done it. Great way of doing it. Also, I guess they'll eventually be able to set driver profiles to your facial recognition, which is a nice little feature. So that's cool.
All that in-house. So the battery, motor, transmission, power electronics or inverter, and software. And I'm really delighted that Lucid Air has been independently validated as achieving over 500 miles. Just an EPA estimate.
I know this already. They've got an EPA estimate of over 500 miles. It's amazing. It is amazing, and it's not stupid range. They've not just added it in. Apparently it's down to battery efficiency. We'll only find out in the future about this, but it's really good that is the case. And I think it's great to push Tesla even further. But I mean, well done to Lucid. 500 miles is crazy. It's a lot of range.
Anyone can go and stuff a huge battery in an electric car and get a huge range. That's dumb range. And why I'm thrilled that we've got over 500 miles is because we've done it with a significantly smaller battery pack. We are over 15% more efficient than the nearest competitor. So Lucid Air is achieving
Okay, I don't know how they're marking the nearest competitor, but if they are referring to Tesla and they are more efficient by 15%, I mean, I don't know how true that is. Obviously, Battery Investor Day is coming up, so Tesla will probably close that gap, if not pass that gap. But still, they've got the battery tech, apparently. And, it's amazing.
over 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Our pack is designed like Lego bricks. Designed for mass production. That keeps the cost down. It means that we can have a higher quality solution, more reliable. We have a pack which can take 300 kilowatts of fast charge, over 900 volts. No one else has that. Unbelievable.
I don't think the super fast charging is required. We've seen this with Porsche. Now there's an option to reduce the charging, but it's good that it can do that. It's good that it can go up to those limits.
We have over 1,000 horsepower. Our motor systems are complete units. That's electric motor.
Got performance, so they should. It's electric, but it's good that they have.
Motor, transmission, differential, and inverter. That is a unit just this size. It weighs 73 kilos and is up to 500 kilowatts. There is nothing else in the marketplace even close to that. Now, because our motors are so compact,
Okay, so I'm pretty sure we've got Lucid Air at the top, Tesla Model S below, and then Tesla Model 3 below that. I mean, their drive unit power to weight, horsepower to kilogram is impressive. If that is, I mean, it is impressive. You just can't.
Fit them in different configurations.
It looks like it's 3 times more efficient than a Tesla motor. Now, I feel like there might be some number fluff in there, but if that's the case, that's the case. It's kind of amazing. That is amazing if that's the case.
Within the car, we can fit 1, 2, or 3, each of which are 600 horsepower. But it creates a space concept for the frunk, which is unparalleled in its volume. And in fact, we can fit the volume of 4 competitor EVs' frunks, all in our...
So you've got the Porsche's frunk in there. It looks like you've got the Model S frunk in there. Another it's hard to tell. The E-Pace or I-Pace, whatever it's called, and then it looks like an Audi possibly.
With
Frunk.
just a spare.
So you can fit all 4 of those competitors' frunks in their one frunk. So it is a big frunk. It is quite big. It doesn't say how many litres it is. 68.
At the core of our Dream Drive
Impressive,
system,
though.
we have a host of 32 ADAS sensors built into the car. That's comprised of ultrasonic sensors, radar sensors, and a industry-first high-definition LiDAR system that generates a very high-res point cloud that we can use to identify objects in front of the vehicle. We also have a camera in.
Elon's criticised LiDAR in the past. This is one thing I've always said about Tesla's full self-driving is that it is very possible that regulators go, you need LiDAR for it to be accepted. Like that could happen. So who knows? I don't know if it's better. I'm not a tech guy. I agree with the simple concept of a driver drives with 2 eyes. Tesla drives with 6, 8 cameras, whatever it is, and sensors. It should be more than enough with a computer. I kind of agree with that. But, you know, if regulators said you need LiDAR, then it would be a bit of it would crap on Tesla's parade. But I don't think that's going to happen. But Lucid Air seem to think that LiDAR is important.
Inside the car, a driver monitoring system. The key benefit is that the car knows where the driver is looking. And
Driver monitor system, quite cool. That tech's already existed in a lot of, I think Mercedes used that quite a lot to make sure that you're safe on the road and you're not like dozing off or anything like that. But yeah, it's good. It's a good feature to have, I guess.
and whether he's a 10.
I think Tesla's work in the fact that they know you're unattentive of a driver because you're swaying out the lanes. I mean, if you've ever like gone over the lane in a Tesla, you'll know about it because it lets you know anyway.
And can take over in tricky situations. Part of the Dream Drive system is, of course, a state-of-the-art park assist system that lets you hands-off park into tight parking spots with no fear of scratching your rims. Like all features.
Okay, I mean, when they say fear of scratching rims, I feel like they're digging at Tesla there. I don't know, because people have complained about the rims getting scratched. But parking system, yeah, it's kind of parking, auto park, kind of a standard thing in the auto industry.
In the Lucid Air, we can update the whole Dream Drive experience over the air over time, with potential to grow into a full autonomous driving system. Not only can we...
Okay, that's good. Over-the-air updates. As standard with these electric car companies, I think it should be as standard.
Charge the car from your house. The car can also supply power to your house. This will enable you to use the...
Amazing. And I've been saying this about the Model 3 and what all Teslas is they should have this vehicle to grid. It should be a standard thing. Your car's plugged into the house. If it could be a buffer for power outages and stuff like that, you've got a massive battery sitting on your driveway that's always nearly fully charged. Why can't it supply the power for a few moments, for an hour or two, back to your house? Wicked idea. Lucid Air are implementing it apparently, and yeah, I think it's a fantastic thing. So they'll be able to. You should be able to charge other cars with it. You should be able to power equipment with it. Yeah, I think it's coming to Tesla. I just think they've pipped him to the post.
The car
Maybe they haven't pipped into the post actually. This needs to enter full production, but yeah.
as a battery system. In case you have a power outage at your house, your car will keep the lights on. Because every Lucid Air has this bidirectionality built in. We can use one Lucid Air to charge a second Lucid Air. We are reusing our battery module technology and the power electronics technology to make super efficient home battery systems. On top of our home battery systems, we're developing...
Okay. I think I might have just looked at Tesla's business model at this point. They're making batteries, they make house batteries as well. I mean, I guess it's an easy decision to make, but I'm sure I've seen something like that before.
Developing product lines that can be used in
And
as a backup battery storage or on a utility scale. The first owner...
I mean, that sounds really familiar, if I'm being honest.
Will receive 3 years of unlimited charging on the Electrify America network nationwide. And we found that...
I don't know how good Electrify America is. I know the supercharging network is amazing, so don't know how good it is. I doubt it's as good as Tesla.
Arizona is a perfect place to build a factory. It will be the fastest factory built within 8 months and some weeks to get the first cars out there. And so we're starting the factory with the quality-driven route. We will not hit numbers because we want to hit numbers. That doesn't make sense in the luxury segment. We will hit quality achievements and quality goals and move forward. And once we hit them, then we can create higher numbers.
I suspect their cars are going to be beautiful when they're made. I suspect that it's going to be almost like the German car maker kind of focus, like the gaps of the panel. There's not going to be anything going out with panel gaps. It's not going to have tinny noise sound when you shut the boot. It's not, which is really nice. If I was spending $160,000, I think it is, on one of these cars, I'd want to know that that's the case. I'd want to know it's solid and it's beautiful, and that I suspect that this is where they will do really well.
We're going to launch Lucid Air with a remarkable version, the Dream Edition, and unashamedly, it's my personal choice of car. It's got over 1,000 horsepower, giving it a 0 to 60 time in under 2.5 seconds.
Under 2.5. It's hitting the benchmarks.
And
the Model S will be faster, but still.
Standing quarter in 9.9. And because it
Okay.
achieves this with the most
Fast.
unsurpassed efficiency, the car has remarkable range as well. Dream Edition will come in 3 unique colours, white, black and gold. It will feature
Not a fan of the gold.
unique 21-inch
Brown. That's brown, it's not gold.
Aero Dream wheels
Bronze.
and Dream Edition badging. So Lucid Air will be available.
So this is their first launch. This is their launch vehicle. It's the early access people, the early adopters. It's a good way to start.
In a range of versions. And the mainstay of this will be the Lucid Air Grand Touring. Soon after, we'll produce the Lucid Air Touring version, and that will be available for $95,000 upwards. We anticipate, though, in 2022.
95 grand, it's not crazy. So 170,000 for the Air Dream Edition, that's expensive, it is expensive. 140,000 for the dual motor Air Grand Touring, which will have the same range as the Air. 503, no, it has a little bit more. So I mean, that's good. And then the Air Touring, $95,000 with 400 miles range. So about where the Model S is at right now.
Two, making a car which is more affordable.
And then the Air, 80,000 at some point. Pricing wise, it's not crazy amazing. Tesla are beating them there. And this is kind of where they lose. Now, it's a different car, but yeah, they're kind of getting beaten there, if you're asking me.
Lucid Air. We start next spring in 2021 with the exquisite limited edition Dream Edition, and that will be available at $169,000 US.
It's expensive.
Immediately for $1,000.
We're going to take exactly that technology and apply it to a complete range of products. We're looking as far as 10 years into the future, and what we have going on here, I think, will amaze.
Oh, sitting hidden under there.
One more glimpse.
Okay, so it looks like they had a sportier version of concept under the second one. It looks like they've got an SUV.
Of the future that I would like to share with you. So I'd like to introduce Project Gravity.
Not for me. I'll be honest, it's not for me. It looks like a Land Rover Defender and a Lucid had a baby, but it came out wrong. It's too smooth to look like a utility vehicle though, which I guess is what they're kind of gearing it as. So that's it. They left us with a taste of the SUV. The SUV was not doing it for me, but I guess a bigger vehicle is always a good shout. They've Model S, Model X route. They've skipped the concept roadster, and it looks like they're going to announce a sports car at one point, either a sports car or a smaller version. Okay, so what's my thoughts? What are my thoughts on this? Take Tesla out of the equation. If this was an electric car company that was, at this point it is right now, starting, I think we'd all be quite excited. We'd be like, oh wow, this is amazing. This looks really good concepts. Fingers crossed that it actually happens and comes into fruition. That's what we'd be thinking. Now, I think this is going to happen. I don't think this is Nikola. I think this is actually going to happen. And the reason for that is because there's a taste for it. There's an appetite for these vehicles. But also, it's the right time for an EV company. If they just follow a simple formula that's been proven to work, then they'll be okay. And I think it will happen. So I think we'll see these early iterations of the Lucid Air. Where we go from there, who knows? I think if that goes well, then we'll just see, we'll probably follow their plan along at least till the slightly better priced Lucids come out. I think with this technology, if this is what they've said is to be true, if we take everything for face value, they're in competition with Tesla's tech. Some things are better, most things aren't. And again, we don't know until it's been produced, but I think they're in line with the Model S, which is fantastic to see. I know there was a lot of backlash and a lot of people were hating on it. It is 170 grand. Obviously, that's a big deal. But you've got to remember, this is like their Roadster, their first generation Roadster. Like, they need to do this. This is how they're going to have to produce the vehicles at the start. And then when they're able to start mass producing it, they can get the economies of scale better and they can start to provide a more affordable car. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad first shot. Let's bring Tesla back into it. So first of all, I think it's fantastic that there's somebody coming along, and it is only a car, in my opinion, only a car company like this that could take Tesla on right now, or do well in the EV sector right now. It's taking these new tech companies to come out of the woodworks, because the old ICE companies, the old internal combustion engine companies, car manufacturers, they're too slow. They're too slow to react. They have been too slow to react. So these nimble startups might have a better shot. Companies like Rivian as well might have a better shot. They're too slow. Ford's too slow. Mercedes, BMW, too slow. Volvo look like they're doing an all right job, but again, I think these have got a better shot. So we bring Tesla into it. There's a few points where this car gets destroyed. The charging infrastructure, the superchargers obviously destroy it. Now Tesla are years ahead, so they obviously destroy that. But being a successful company, Tesla obviously destroy that. Being able to actually mass produce these vehicles, Tesla are destroying that. Being able to deliver on the economies of scale, Tesla are destroying that. Coming through with their word, Tesla destroying that. Battery tech, they state that they are better, but I think Tesla probably are edging them by quite a considerable amount. It's just we've not heard about that yet. Battery Investor Day is coming. Audio cut halfway between that, so I don't know where I'm at, but forgive me if this doesn't make sense, so I'm going to wrap this up. So yeah, Tesla basically are beating them in most things. The Lucid Air looks like they're edging them in a few different things, but you've got to remember, Lucid Air is a concept vehicle versus a mass-produced vehicle. If Tesla were showing all their concept vehicles like the Roadster, the Plaid Model S, and all those kind of things that aren't being produced right now, it'd probably knock Lucid Air out of the park. So, you know, you've got to weigh those things up. Here's the deal. I'm hoping that Lucid Air gets produced. I'm hoping it goes well for them. It's good to see another electric car being produced. It's good to see a company like this coming out of the woodworks, and hopefully it will be produced and it will deliver to a sector that there is space to be delivered to. The Model S doesn't quite fit that high-end luxury car, and the Lucid Air looks like it will fill that. It will fit in with the Maybachs of the world and the not the Bentleys, but the Rolls Royces of the world. That's what it looks like it's fitting. And I wish that Tesla would do that. I wish I could recline back in my Model S, fall asleep watching Netflix, and you know, those kinds of things. I'm looking at this Lucid Air and I'm like, wow, that looks really good. The space aspect of it, all those kind of things. We don't know yet. We don't know if these will come to fruition. We can just hope and pray that they do, because competition is good, but also any successful EV company that is doing a good job, is worth having in the space. 170 grand priced luxury car like that is not going to affect Tesla in one little bit. So it's only positive for Tesla. It's not negative. And if I can get my hands on one and go for a drive in it, I'd love to show you guys a video, and I'd love to have a go in it. The looks aren't for me, the interior is for me. But apart from that, it's a good car. It's a good car. Is it as good as Tesla's? I don't think so. Is it fair to make a comparison? I don't think so. If we were comparing it, we should be comparing concept cars. Am I a Tesla fanboy who can't accept that there's another good EV out of there? No, I'm not, because I know there is, and I know there's a lot coming. And I've always said it, my favourite EV is Rimac Concept 2 anyway. It's just I ain't got 2 million quid lying about. So, you know, we should love all EVs, not just Teslas. And I think on Twitter, I see it's a bit strange to see people trying to bring down these other electric car companies. I know there's some sketchy ass people in the space. I'm not saying anything. Trevor Milton, Nicola. But, you know, it doesn't mean everyone's a bad egg. And I know that Elon is, he likes to blow the competition away. But, you know, it doesn't mean we can't have healthy competition. So here we go. We've got another car company coming. Hopefully they deliver. Will they deliver? We don't know. But hopefully they will. Guys, what are your opinions? Drop your opinions below. Do you think it's Tesla or die? Do you think that this is a good car? Do you think that Lucid Air will be even delivered? What do you think? I know 170k is a lot, but this is like their early iteration. This is like the Roadster back in the day. They need to do this to get the car company launched. So here we go. But let me know your thoughts. Guys, if you're thinking about buying a Tesla, there's a link in the description. Get you 1,000 free supercharging miles. It gets me 1,000 free supercharging miles, and it helps support all the road trips that we've been doing recently. Thank you. If you want to watch those road trips, subscribe to the channel. There's a button down there somewhere, and you'll be able to see all the videos that we do. As always, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, salute. As always, I'll see you in the next one. As always, I keep saying as always, peace out, my dudes. See you in a bit.